Welcome to Let the Quran Speak. I'm Aisha, your host. According to Ontario's Organ and Tissue Donation Network, every 3 days, someone in Ontario dies while waiting for an organ transplant. This topic sparked my interest when I came across an article last month in the Toronto Star about Fatima Beg, a 21-year-old who met her donor's family 5 months after receiving her life-saving liver transplant. Fatima is now playing an active role in social media in raising awareness about the importance of organ donation. Let's sit down and talk about organ donation from a Quranic perspective with Dr. Shabir Ali. Welcome to the show, Dr. Shabir.
Pleasure to be on.
Can you tell us a little bit about organ donation in the Quran?
Well, the Quran doesn't actually say anything about organ donation specifically, and we can understand the reason why. The Quran was revealed some 1400 years ago, commenting on situations mainly that occurred at the time. It gives some future predictions, but in general outlines, it talks about the coming of the Day of Judgment and so on, but not about specific mores of living in the 20th or 21st century. It would have been unthinkable at the time for the Quran to be telling people to donate organs because there was no mechanism in place. The technology was not available to transplant organs from one person to another.
Do we know anything, and I know you said technology wasn't available, but do we have any stories from the life of the Prophet discussing the topic of organ donation in any way?
No, here too it would have been unthinkable. What we can draw on is that there are many passages of the Quran which invite Muslims, actually impel them towards generosity, giving to others. So for example, there's a verse in the 28th chapter that says you should be kind and generous as God has been generous to you. So God has given us so many favors, and if we can help somebody with whatever God has given us. The Quran, interestingly, speaks about spending and giving out of not only our wealth but also our persons. And of course, in the classical period, it would have been understood that sometimes people gave their lives for the faith in defense of their community and their faith. It's an idea which goes outside of Islam as well. That's where we get the word martyr from, where a person, because of his or her faith, might have been killed by the enemy. So the idea of giving is mentioned in the Quran of not only one's wealth but one's person. Well, here is a different way in modern times in which one can give of one's own person, one's body.
There is also a verse in the Quran where it says if you save one life, it's as if you've saved all of humanity. So can that be applied when someone were to donate their organs?
Yes, of course, we should not be killing ourselves in order to save somebody else. The Quran is very clear that suicide is not allowed. But at the same time, you're right. The Quran says that in the 5th chapter, in the 32nd verse, that if you save one life, it is as if you're saving a whole people. And indeed, this is what it amounts to, because each person has the potential to have so much progeny. So yeah, when you save one life by donating your organ, I mean, you're going to be leaving this world. Your soul does, your personality does, and your body is going to be left behind to rot. Instead of that, giving it to somebody else who can make use of it is a very Muslim thing to do.
And could that be counted also as a form of ongoing charity, because you've passed away, but then your organs are now with someone else and they're actually helping them? So does that help a Muslim in their afterlife?
Yes, perhaps I should explain for some of our viewers what is meant by an ongoing charity. In the Islamic faith, there is this understanding of a charity that is done once and the effect of it is here and now. And then there is that sort of charity, the effect of which continues for a long time after. This is referred to as sadaqatun jariyah in Arabic, or an ongoing charity. You said it right. And there is a saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that when a person dies, all of his or her deeds are come to an end, except for certain types of deeds, and one of them is the ongoing charity. Meaning that while we're alive, we have the opportunity to do so many good things, and that counts to our credit, but after we die, we do not have any such opportunity anymore. But now you're on the button here by saying that if we are suggesting that if we donate our organs to somebody else, that person remains alive, that person may do a lot of good things, and that will come to our credit as well. Of course, the person may do some evil things as well, but we're not responsible for that because we are giving our organs with the intention that somebody else will benefit from it, and hopefully they will do some good. But whether to do any good or not, the very act of giving that is an act of charity on our part. It's a very Muslim thing to do, and hopefully somebody will make good use of it.
Is this an area that you think the Muslim community needs to start focusing in on?
Absolutely. The idea of helping other people in a way that does not harm yourself, this is required in the Quran again and again. This is what the Quran imposes on Muslims, to be charitable, to be good, to even to the extent of speaking a kind word to somebody else. The Quran says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, speak kindly to people, and this is to all people generally. Some Muslims may get the idea that organ donation to non-Muslims cannot be possible because they're thinking, well, you know, should I give my organs to somebody who is going to use that organ as part of their body to worship other than God? And the answer to that is that we should not discriminate in this way, and God does not discriminate in this way. God has given all of the same organs to Muslim and non-Muslim, and even if somebody is worshiping Satan, that person still have all of the same organs, the eyes and ears and nose and so on that we have. And so God does not discriminate, we should not discriminate. And in classical times, there was nothing left to do but to bury the body. And some Muslims may think that the Islamic tradition almost requires an immediate burial and no cutting of the body. But in modern times, it's obvious that sometimes the body needs to be examined for forensic reasons. And now we see that there's another good reason for opening up the body to remove certain useful organs which can help to save another life.
Have you signed up for organ donation?
Yes, I have, and it's easy for anyone to do. When you renew your driver's license, you have the opportunity at that time to fill out a simple registration form, and there are other ways of registration as well.
This was very informative. Thank you, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.